Today I'm going to be showing you how to connect to mount the gas bottle, the regulator, and mount the gas proportional detector onto the Ludlum model 239-1F floor monitor cart. Now these are the parts that you should receive with your floor monitor cart, the Ludlum model 239-1F. This is the model 43-37 gas proportional detector, regulator, a short piece of vinyl tubing. This is a strap that holds the bottle to the cart. These are the quick disconnect fittings that go onto the top of the cart. This is the adapter for the regulator. This white nut goes on the adapter. These are inserts for the tubing to keep the tubing from collapsing. And these are the brass thumb screws that attach the detector to the cart. You will need some Teflon tape for the adapter. First step is to put the bottle on the cart, move the hoses out of the way, take your bottle, be careful, these will explode if they are dropped, or they can explode if they're dropped. Be very careful anytime you're handling a gas bottle. This is a number 3 cylinder size. This is the largest bottle that we recommend to put on the floor cart. The next step is to put the strap on the bottle to secure the bottle in place. We send a buckle type latch with straps. You hook one side into the hole on this side, bring it around, hook the other side. To get the proper tension, you pull on the inside until it's snug. Then you pull the excess back out this way. Then you flip the buckle, and that secures the strap in place. Next step, remove the cap, and we're going to install the regulator. And the regulator is left-handed threads, so it goes on, you turn it opposite of what your traditional nut is. Alright, after putting the regulator on and getting it snug by hand, tighten with the wrench. Needs to be snug, but it doesn't have to be overly tight. Alright, the next step is to put the adapter on. Before putting the adapter on, you want to put some Teflon tape on the threads.
Not bad, not bad.
One or two wraps should be sufficient. Doesn't matter if it's neat. Now we place the adapter onto those threads. This is right-handed, so it screws on the normal way. Again, need to be tight, but doesn't have to be excessively tight. Next, we remove this fitting. You can keep this fitting if you want. We use it on the other connectors, but we typically replace it with this white plastic nut. So take your vinyl tubing, run the tubing through the nut. These are the tube inserts. Goes in there, stick it in, tighten it up, and then this is just hand tight. Alright, now on the other end of the tubing, we want to put one of the quick disconnects that come with the tube. Now on this one, I am going to use the brass nuts that come with the fitting. And these fittings have some small pieces on the inside. Make sure and save those pieces and get them on the tubing. Again, slide it through. Put your insert in. Tighten this up. On these, you need to get a wrench to tighten these up. Again, tight. They need to be tight, but not overly tight. Then this quick disconnect plugs into the input side of the flow box, which is this side right here. So again, just push it in until it snaps in place. The other fitting, you just snap into the top of this. This will allow the exhaust gas to escape. If you do not put this fitting in there, this has a valve in it. It will not allow gas to flow. So always make sure this is on there. There's no tubing going into it. Next step is to put the detector on. The detector comes with binding head screws in the holes. If you want to use the binding head screws, you can. If you don't want to use those, we also supply brass thumb screws, and you can use whichever one you prefer. I will be using the brass thumb screws. Next step is to place the detector in position. Leave the cardboard on as long as you can. That protects the mylar window. So you may have to lift the card up. Also, you may want to move the rubber band to the outside so you can get it off later. Slide the detector underneath. And then you can loosen this bracket, drop it down, line up the screws, and install these screws. If you want it permanent, use the binding head screws. If you're afraid of losing the screws, you might want to put Loctite or something on them to make sure. Put all 8 screws into the detector. Sometimes they may take a little bit to get the holes lined up. There we go. Do all 8 screws. All right, next step is to connect the gas hoses to the detector. Remove the yellow protective caps. Again, you just push down until they snap in place. Do both sides. Doesn't matter which one you plug on. And then you can go ahead and connect the electrical connector to the detector. Then you want to lift the detector up so it's not dragging on the floor. In operation, you will set this height to whatever your requirements are at your particular facility. Now I'm going to show you how to turn on the gas bottle and get your system flowing correctly. All right, first thing you want to do is make sure that this valve is turned off, that the regulator is turned open. Then you can turn on the gas bottle. And if the gas bottle has fluid in it, it will register on this gauge. And as you see, we have about 2,000 psi, so that means the bottle has plenty of gas in it. Next, you want to crank your regulator in, and for our gas flow we recommend 2 to 5 psi of pressure. So you turn the knob in until this needle reads somewhere between 2 and 5 psi. So I'm going to go ahead and set it at 3. Right. Now we want to make sure that this valve is closed, because if you flow too much gas through the detector, you can rupture your mylar window. So now we turn this valve on, and then we set this flow. When you're first flushing, you can set it to 100 cc's a minute or a little bit higher. So now we open this valve, and the little black ball in the gauge, we crank it open until, for flushing, we can go up to 100. Normal operation, you can run down to about 20 cc's a minute, maybe less if everything's good and tight. After a few minutes, your output gauge will start will open up, and maybe you saw the ball go by. So you want to flush for about 5 or 10 minutes. And so after 5 or 10 minutes, then you turn this valve down to in your 20 to 30 range. Now, a interesting bit on this on these flow meters is if you don't have any leaks, the output flow will be higher, or can be higher than the input flow, and that's just because the lower pressure on the output side of the detector will allow the gas to flow a little faster as it's losing pressure. So, but if you have leaks, your output may be lower, or it may not be registering anything at all. So it looks like our detector is operating fairly well. We have about 20 in, 20 out. As long as we flushed, we should be ready to hook up the instrument to it and begin surveying. Thank you.